Good morning, everybody. How you doing today?
Hola.
Hello. Okay, guys. Welcome to a new session. And let's do this. We got the deadline for the argumentative essay this week. And I'd like to, in this case, answer some of your questions if you got questions about the essay. And if there are no questions, we can move forward to unit number 3, which is the last unit for this term. En Spanish, originalmente, digamos, el argumentative essay está programado para entrega mañana, pero habíamos hablado de que podríamos extender esa, digamos, esa fecha durante toda la semana, hasta el domingo en la medianoche. Entonces mi pregunta, mi duda es si van a necesitar sí o sí más tiempo, como para dejarlo consignado. Y lo otro es si hay alguna duda, pregunta con respecto al essay. Yo he visto que algunos ya me han compartido, digamos, el documento. Y la idea, ¿cierto?, era compartirlo conmigo y también con algunos de los asistentes, por ejemplo, el Enzo o la Catarí. Ya cosas de cómo acelerar el proceso después de revisión, ¿cierto? Que sea bien transparente todo en términos de la aplicación de la rúbrica, ¿cierto? De la escala de notas y todo el tema. Entonces, a ver, el chat dice, la Cristal dice, necesitaré más tiempo. No hay problema, Cristal, no problem. Entonces, los escucho, chicos, chicas. Si tienen alguna consulta, duda. My teammate y yo igual, dice el Julián. No problem, Julián. Go ahead nomás. Denle hasta el domingo. Sí, tienen hasta el domingo midnight. Karen dice apoyo. Very well, excellent. Sí, trabajen nomás hasta el domingo en la noche, ¿ya? Yo entonces le aviso a los chiquillos, a my assistants, para que empecemos a corregir desde el lunes entonces, ¿ya? ¿Hay alguna duda técnica, chiques, con respecto a las guidelines, con respecto a, digamos, al argumento, o sea, al essay mismo, digamos, la estructura, el uso de citas? ¿Tienen alguna pregunta sobre esa parte? Nope, nope, dice Julián. Anybody else? Igual en todo caso yo tenía preparado una cosita previa antes de, si es que quieren revisar su essay, digamos, antes de enviarlo el domingo, por supuesto, o si están en proceso de construirlo, de escribirlo. Igual que tenía preparado algo ahora para ayudarles con eso. Hasta el momento vamos bien, dice, pero uno nunca sabe, dice la cara. Claro. Nobody knows. Right, so I'm gonna share with you my screen. And here we go. First, I had a couple of essays from last year, I guess. Yeah, September 2020, and this one is from last year, I guess. And I wanted to give you a couple of tips. En el chat dice Cristal, en este momento no se me ocurre nada. Dice, en algún momento le compartiremos nuestro ensayo. Yeah, please. Let's say yeah. Okay. But remember, ¿cierto? Si es que alguien por ahí se le olvidó, todo por Google Docs, ¿cierto? Compartido a mí y a the assistants. So I wanted to show you one here, which is already corrected from last year. Fíjense en algunos detallitos, por ejemplo, el tema del header, en este caso que sería el encabezado. There are people who sometimes write on the header, for example, the information about the university. Sometimes they share the logo, like in this case, for example. Um, some people like to put the logo on here, which is okay, with the university, faculty, department, and the name of the professor in this case. Uh, but you can choose if you put the logo. It's not like a requirement, but it is a requirement to write the information, the minimum information, like the university, faculty, department, el ramo que sería DELI, ¿cierto? O discurso, y the professor. Also, the author, of course, really important. In this case, Camila Suazo. And in this case, the title in big, in this case, size. You can use Arial, Times New Roman, or any other, in this case, font, which is, in this case, easy to understand. The cover in this case is, I think it's a very, in this case, adequate and suitable thing to design for an essay. Así que el cover debiera estar, please. In this case, dice María José del Mar, yeah, she wrote a cover in this case, but she put her name right here. Okay, I think it could be better if I move the name here, right? In this case, and also with the date, for example, let's say, I don't know, June 2021, and I think it would be okay. Here in this case, let's analyze this one. If okay, a quick review in this case, we got the cover, we got, you know, the paragraphs here, plus the references, which are kind of, yeah, kind of far away from the conclusion. I'm gonna get it closer. Yeah, at first it looks kind of neat, I think. But if we go maybe like closer, yeah, I can check out in this case that this is the introduction. And then let's check out the number of paragraphs in the body. Yeah, this one is the second paragraph, but I think there is a little problem here with the use of APA. I guess she tried to use long direct quote, but the indentation is in the whole, in this case, citation. So what I do is here is, yeah, I put it like this, and I have to eliminate number one in this case, and also I wipe off the quotation marks, because when we use in this case direct citation with more than 40 words in this case, which is a long citation, I don't need to use quotation marks in this case. And I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, see, it's more than 40 words. Yep, it's okay. And I put the author in this case right here, which is okay. But what I have to do in this case, I have to put the author. In this case, this lady wrote the name of the article in this case. But the best way here is to put the author. Let's say Mineduc, for example. The corporative in this case author is the Mineduc. So I put Mineduc here, and not the name of the law of the article in this case, which is Aula Segura. And what else here? Okay, this is, I suppose that this is the end of paragraph number 1. and then the next paragraph, no, paragraph number 2, sorry. And then this should be paragraph number 3 because there's a separation here. All right. And then paragraph number 3 is kind of long, I guess. No, it's, yeah, there is in this case symmetry. There is symmetry among paragraph number 1, number 2, and number 3. I mean, 3 is kind of long, but it's okay. Still okay. Also, the interlining here is kind of too much. So I'm going to take the whole thing, the whole essay, and I'm going to apply here, which is double. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it in 1.5, which is the requirement. 1.5 to me is in this case the standard in this case, right? Faster for me to read. It's more comfortable for correction and everything. I mean, if you use interlining number 2 or double, I won't discount. I won't discount anything, like any score and everything. But try to use 1.5. What else? Paragraph number 4 in this case. It's a counter argument on the other hand, yeah. Paragraph 6. Let me count first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are some small paragraphs here, which is, yeah. Okay, this one here, this small paragraph should be attached to or joined to maybe the previous paragraph or maybe the conclusion. So what I can do maybe is, because it says finally, maybe this is the conclusion, right? And yeah, so I do this, and also what I do here is I don't know why the font has different colors. So maybe I should normalize in this case everything with the same color. Maybe it may look like a stupid detail, but academic writing, that's the way, you know, everything should be like kind of, in this case, pretty much normalized. That's in this case the boring part. Okay, so yeah, looks much more in this case standard. And hold on. Let me check some now of the, in this case, the markers or the different in this case connectors that can help us to check out maybe the ideas, the development of ideas along this essay. This is an interesting marker here. There's no doubt. So okay, this is most of the time, yeah, another marker here, because this markers are important in this case, because we can see how the author in this case starts to share different ideas and arguments with the audience. And we can see how, for example, we express examples or, for example, counter arguments, etc. That's why I in this case highlight the linkers in this case. Check another one. For a few years. Interesting. What else became common to see? It became common, right? Another interesting linker in this case. Aula segura is the answer. Yeah. If in the first paragraph, if I try to find the thesis statement, I should find it around here, which is the topic sentence, or like in the middle. So I'm gonna look for that right now. There's no doubt that the violence in schools and different educational places had increased fast during the past years. There's no doubt that violence in school and different educational places had increased fast during the past years. Okay, using here past perfect, it's kind of weird because it it's it stays in the past, right? It means that it's not necessarily a current problem. So maybe she wanted to use has increased, but I'm not sure about that. I mean, I need to read more. What else? Aula segura. Okay, this is pretty much the topic sentence, but it's not necessarily the thesis statement. Aula segura is the answer the government gave to schools as a method to decrease all episodes of violence. However, is this a real answer to? Yeah, this is in this case, the thesis statement, clearly. Aula segura is the answer the government gave to schools as a method to decrease all episodes of violence inside these. However, is this a real answer to the violence inside school, or is this just a stopgap solution? Right. Yeah, this is the thesis statement. Clearly, the topic in this case is aula segura. It's connected to of course, to the title, of course. I will show. Yeah, I will show in this case is not adequate. We shouldn't use I or we in the introduction or the body, but we can use it at the end in the conclusion. Yeah, in this case, the author can start in this case using first person, only in the conclusion. It's not a sin, like it's not terrible, but I should discount in this case, like maybe a point or something like that. What else? Aula was the project. Then in this case, this is pretty much like the argument in favor of the government. Consider two things: possible causes of expelling. Maybe I can put a spacing here, which makes it more clear. First of all, the most useful thing of this project might be to allow school principals to separate from the community those students who participate in acts of violence. So in this case, the author here is presenting a fact. She's not in this case necessarily in favor of aula segura, but what she's doing is explaining the law, which is okay. I think it's really good, especially in the tone in this topic sentence. So maybe we can read the conclusion and check out what is her real position. Very well. Nice, in this case, very nice and clear topic sentence. Let me use a different color in this case. Yeah. Conclusion. Finally, another point not considered in Aula Segura is that it does not include actions to reinforce schools that end up, okay, this is the counter argument in this case. If I consider this one, the conclusion, I would say that she's against the Aula Segura law in this case. Professors have expressed their fear that the law would end simply by moving the problem from emblematic schools to the peripheral high schools. In my opinion, I would say Aula Segura is neither a solution nor a way to stop violence. There you go. I like it. So that's her clear political stance in this case. Interesting. Very interesting way to in this case deal with the situation with Aula Segura, with the topic. When I think in Aula Segura, the only thing that comes to my mind is Jaula Segura. Yes, that's true. I remember. Yeah, no, excellent. No, very good way to end the essay. Good. So this is, I think this is a very good essay, guys. No, I mean, uh, I, I I read it the last year, but I didn't remember the details. And there are a couple of, in this case, citations. For example, authors like Martini, 2019. Uh, More statistics here, for example, which is Said and Fernandez, 2019. Interesting. Mhm. Cyper 2018, very important. Cyber, in this case, Cyber or Cyper is in uh, it's an acronym, es un acrónimo, así que oh, aquí se cayó la compañera pero hay que ponerla en capital letters. What else? Aquí, more authors, Mineduc, for example, and so on. Now, in general, I think this is a good mark. Bueno, aquí no sale la nota porque yo hice una copia del de María José, ¿ya? Y está la nota y todo, no me acuerdo, fue el año pasado, sí. Pero esto es un buen ensayo. References in this case, the use of the APA standard looks pretty neat, ¿cierto? El autor con en este caso la inicial del first name, el año de publicación, nombre de la publicación, aula segura de una violencia de la que no se habla. Cyber, in this case, está usando usó APA sexta edición, retrieve from, ¿ya? En la séptima esto ya no se usa, ¿ya? Entonces, por ejemplo, yo lo saco y lo dejo sin el recuperado de. Se nota que funciona el link porque me tira de inmediato a la imagen, ¿cierto? Entonces, en APA 7 básicamente se tira el link nomás, ¿cierto? Al lado del repositorio que sería zipper y listo, ¿ya? Entonces uno le quita el retrieve from. Aquí también, pues, súper bien aplicada, igual le dará un espacio. Veamos, si le doy un espacio, salta mucho. No, está bien ahí entonces. Una segura, ok. Eso en general, así una revisión una muy rápida la revisión que hice en todo caso, pero es una de las tantas cosas en que me fijo en un ensayo, ¿ya? Ahí le chiques también el Enzo con la Catarí, más o menos eh, utilizan la misma forma, o a veces nosotros les decimos que se enfoquen en algo específico, como ya chiques, ustedes revisen solamente mechanics, solamente, digamos, puntuación, capitalización, y yo me fijo en otras cosas, por ejemplo, ¿ya? Entonces ahí nos dividimos el trabajo. Guys, any questions? Any further doubts about writing an argumentative essay? All good? It's all good. Nope, dice el Julia. Okie dokie, very well. Pasando a otro tema. Son las 9:15, nos queda muy poco tiempo. Sí. Ya, algunos pequeños temas nomás como para poder aclarar algunas cosas antes de pasar a la Unit 3. Acerca específicamente sobre supporting details o supporting sentences, ¿ya? Todos tienen más o menos claro lo que es una topic sentence, ¿cierto? Que es la oración, en este caso, que introduce un párrafo, una topic sentence, ¿ya? Pero cuando uno utiliza supporting sentences, que en el fondo son los argumentos, ¿cierto? We need to be careful about difference of fact and opinion. Bueno, no todas las opiniones son buenas, no todas las opiniones, digamos, hay opiniones que son de odio, hay opiniones que son sinceras, ¿ya? Y por ejemplo, una opinión es voy a mostrar una opinión bien estúpida, para que vean lo dañino que puede ser una opinión. Pues, men are better drivers than women. It's like, yeah. It's an opinion. Smoking is a bad habit. Yeah, it's a different kind of opinion. It might have some, in this case, some support in this case. And English is an easy language to learn. You see, it's like, so we need evidence. We need facts. We need examples. We need proof in this case, even scientific proof, right? So in this case, academic writing, which is formal in this case, which requires evidence that you support your ideas and opinions with facts, statistics, quotations, and similar kinds of information. You get these kinds of supporting details from outside sources such as books, magazines, newspapers, websites, personal interviews, and so on. So it's important to distinguish between facts and opinions. Opinions are, and this is really important, subjective, right? And they're statements based on a person's beliefs or attitudes. So an opinion is different from a fact because facts are real examples in this case, like real situations, or in this case, let's say the reality which can be proven. So that's why there are so many, let's say, controversies about many different topics, because people sometimes they utter opinions, they have their opinions, but many times it's just like a pretty much like a feeling, or based on beliefs like that might be religious, or that might be maybe just part of the culture, you know. That's why it is so important to make the difference between facts and opinions. Facts are objective statements of truths. That's way different. And clearly in academic writing, opinions are not acceptable as support, period. Right? That's opinions are not really part of, we can analyze opinions, but we cannot use them as arguments. So opinions are not even arguments in this case, like not valid. I mean, every opinion is valid in a different field, but not in the field of academic writing. Yeah, like every opinion, every human being is respectable, right? But not every opinion is like really respectable in the sense that there might be opinions who really damage, for example, other people, or damage, for example, the environment, in the communities, for example. Certainly acceptable to express opinions in academic writing, and yeah, that's different. I mean, I can express my personal opinion in the conclusion, for example, of an essay, but it's not considered an argument. That's different. In fact, most professors want you to express your own ideas. However, you may not use an opinion as support. And if you express an opinion, you must support it with facts. That's different. If I want to share, for example, my opinion and the conclusion, that's okay. And if I want to put it like really in the body, I must use next to the opinion a fact, an example, statistics, and evidence in this case to support my point of view. Fabián dice, pero hacer un análisis de una cita cualquiera puede estar en el ensayo, ¿cuenta como opinión? Sí, justamente lo que estaba diciendo. Si ustedes, por ejemplo, van a usar una opinión, y esa opinión saben que no es porque sí, no es que yo siento en mi guatita de que eso es así, sino que de verdad yo tengo evidencia que prueba de que esa opinión tiene un sustento teórico, tiene digamos, está basada en otra opinión de expertos, está basada en cosas que son reales, ¿te fijas? Entonces, sí se puede en el body, ¿cierto? argument o en un counter argument siempre y cuando al ladito esté, digamos, la evidencia o la cita. Are objective statements of truth, dice. At sea level, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. That's a fact. Women live longer than men. That's a fact. It's not an opinion. Why? Because there are studies. There are hundreds of studies around the world, and that say that the tendency is that women live longer than men for many different reasons, part of the biology of our species, right? Which is good. Cigarettes are addictive. That's proven. It's a fact. It's not an opinion. Maybe it can be an opinion, but there is evidence behind that. Okay. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't smoke. I mean, if you want to smoke, that's your problem. But the fact is that cigarettes are addictive. Sometimes even facts need proof, which is also true. All three statements above are facts. The last two need proof, right? Your readers may not believe that women live longer than men, which is okay, or they may not agree that cigarettes are addictive. You must use specific supporting details to prove that these statements are true facts, right? So specific supporting detail include examples, statistics, quotations, as I said. And of course, opinions can be, in this case, disproven, or facts sometimes, or things that may be considered facts, can have, in this case, counter arguments, which say that this is not like that true. I mean, or that, or quite certain. And then you got, that's why in the scientific realm, for example, there are theories and there are theses and the antithesis. You know, it happens very often, but they are just different points of view of the same maybe reality. But there are scientists who can maybe try to provide for a new perspective. But it doesn't necessarily mean that some facts are not true. One example is, for example, what happened with Einstein. What he did, for example, with the discovery of or the development of the theory of relativity, was saying that Newton was wrong in the way of the application of the classical physics, right? I think that the universe was pretty much like a Swiss clock, and that was not true. Okay, but Newtonian, in this case, perspective is true with, for example, some fields of physics. But Einstein, what he did was changing the game in this case, developing a theory that really explains more phenomena than Newtonian physics cannot do. So it's pretty much like complementary, but at the same time, Einstein, in this case, explained that some applications of the Newtonian physics were not valid, absolutely not valid, like thinking that the universe is pretty much like a clock. It is not. It's very chaotic, actually. That's one example, you know. So opinion, and I think I'm going to be finishing with this one because estamos cerca de terminar. Examples in this case: facts versus opinions. Photographs of ultra thin fashion models send the wrong message to girls and young women. That's an opinion. It may be true, of course, right? But it depends in this case on the point of view, or we need to prove that thing. Then next level, fact, but needs proof. Fashion models are unnaturally thin, for example. You know, talking about, in this case, body positive or body shaming. I think it's a really, really very important topic. And specific supporting detail. The average model weighs 25% less than the average woman of the same height. So then we can continue developing more arguments in this case. Like, for example, stereotypes in this case based on ultra thin models are damaging to maybe mental health. That's an opinion, but then I can continue proving that my opinion is based on facts. You know? So that's the way we can, in this case, build a paragraph, and then we build an essay, and so on. And then I can add, for example, more citations, more examples, etc. So then the rest is just APA in this case, pero ya hemos hablado de eso. Cualquier duda, chiques, que tengan sobre norma APA, textenme. O también le pueden textear a Lenzo con la Catarí, como para ir moldeando, ayudándoles con el essay antes de la entrega el domingo. ¿Ya? So any final regards, any final comments? No problem? Very well, excellent. Thank you for coming today to the... Todo clarito, dice la Karen. Gracias, profe, que esté bien. Igualmente, chiques, cuídense mucho. Y ahí estamos al habla, cualquier cosa del essay, me hablan nomás. Bye, bye.
Gracias, profe, muchas gracias. Tenga bonito día.
Igualmente,
Eso, profe, que estén.